Good day and welcome to another episode of Regional Review. I'm Kenya Kambowe, your host, and I'll be giving you an insight of events that unfolded in the northeastern regions over the past week. In today's show, we'll also have an interview with Mr. Moyo, a student activist who will be telling us about the challenges students are facing as far as registration is concerned at various tertiary institutions. In history today is Thesaurus Day. Check out the next video. In brief, these are the following stories that made headlines in the northeastern regions. A three-horse race to the Vatgeriku throne has taken an interesting turn after Kavango East Governor Bonifacius Wakudumo, who has submitted the application of Bartholomeus Aruvita Kayoka to become the new chief, says his office will not channel another application to the Line Ministry for consideration. The Vatgeriku community has been without a chief since the passing of the late Cassian Siambi, who died in November 2019. However, the process to succeed him has left the royal house divided. Wakudumo, in a recent interview with Namibian Sun, said that his office has done its homework and that the application of Kayoka was done in accordance with the framework of the Vatgeriku customary law and in confinement of the Traditional Authorities Act. Kayoka's application was submitted by Senior Traditional Council of the Vatgeriku Traditional Authority, Festus Sikerete, with the backing of the royal family to Wakudumo's office, which the governor says speaks to the customary law of the tribe. Wakudumo's decision has left the two other men also eyeing the throne, Felix Morauli Mashika and former ambassador of Namibia to the Czech Republic, Simon Maruta, with blooded noses, as their chances to rule the Vatgeriku community has become a mere dream. Our second story is about the 6 people, including a teacher from Kasivi village, who last week appeared before the Kaenge Periodic Court after they burnt down a cooker shop belonging to a pensioner whom they accused of bewitching her own granddaughter, who died on New Year's Eve. The 6 suspects, Sindimba Teresia Mpepo, Andreas Matamu, Kamina Franz Casera, Siremo Joseph Siengo, Siepo Marcus, and Musonga Petrus, charged with 1 count of witchcraft suppression and another count of arson, appeared before Magistrate Beru Mufana, who granted them bail of 3,000 each. 2 other suspects, Joseph Mokuve and Sikongo Daniel Hamutenia, charged with malicious damage to state property and malicious damage to property respectively, also appeared in court and were granted bail of $1,000 each. According to the police report, the complainant in the matter is Sindimba Laurencia Nepemba, a 61-year-old pensioner, who is accused of being a witch and is responsible for the death of a 16-year-old granddaughter who died on 31 December 2021 in the Rundu State Hospital. When Namibian Sun visited Nepemba at her homestead at Kasivi village in the Kavango West region, she narrated her ordeal as she denied practicing witchcraft. Nepembe said that the witchcraft allegations emerged on 20 December 2021 when the father of her late granddaughter went to consult a self-proclaimed prophet in Rundu, whom she identified as Pastor Mike. She said that on the said day, the father of her late granddaughter came to her homestead with Pastor Mike, who stayed at her house from 1900 hours up until 1 o'clock in the next morning. Pastor Mike apparently told the father of the child, who was in the hospital at the time, that this child was being bewitched by her grandmother. 11 days later, the granddaughter passed on in Rundu, and according to the family, she has been sick since October last year. In our third story, the police in Kavango West have arrested a 23-year-old man from Simanya village after he was found in possession of an unpolished diamond which he allegedly acquired from an illegal trip into Angola. The suspect, Wafeni Timotheus, who appeared before Magistrate Beru Mufana in the Kaenge Periodic Court last week Wednesday, allegedly crossed illegally into Angola and was given the stone by someone in the neighboring country, to come and sell it in Namibia. According to Kavango East Police Regional Commander Commissioner Josephat Abel, the police, upon searching the suspect, they found the unpolished diamond in his possession, which subsequently led to his arrest. The diamond has since been sent for evaluation to determine its value. In court on Wednesday, Magistrate Mufana granted Timotheus bail of 3,000 before remanding the matter to 12 April for further police investigations. Timotheus said he will conduct his own defense. Now, our fourth story. The lifeless body of a Namibian man was found floating on the Angolan side of the Kavango River on last week Wednesday afternoon opposite Sitopogo village in the Kavango West region. It is alleged that the deceased was intoxicated prior to his lifeless body being discovered in the river. The deceased, identified as Paulus Kapoke, was married to an Angolan woman whom he lived with in that country. According to this police report, the deceased was reportedly last seen in Angola on last week Tuesday, where he was drinking kashipembe, a traditional fermented liquor. The Angolan police notified the Namibian counterparts after discovering the body. The police report further indicated that the Namibian police members have been coordinating with Angolan police, and the body has already been repatriated back to Namibia. Mr. Moyo, can you just briefly tell us about the issue about non-payment of tuition fees of students at various tertiary institutions by the Namibia Financial Student Assistance Fund?
Thank you for the question. Basically, what is happening with the Namibian Student Financial Assistance Fund is a student at any institution of higher learning in Namibia can sign a contract and receive an award letter. Maybe the student is from NAST or IUM or UNAM, but then there's no guarantee of this student being paid both their tuition and non-tuition fees. Some reasons that are being given by NSFAF is invoices are not sent by those certain institutions. But then I have picked up as a student leader, when I was a student leader in 2020 at the University of Namibia Rudu campus, I picked up that despite the invoices being sent with NSFAF, still you'd find that their non-tuition of a certain student or tuition fee of a certain student is not yet settled. Several attempts are made through phone calls, emails, but this is not working. It has proven itself. For example, like last year, I took up an issue of a certain student, Dumo Anselma, from 2019. I tried to engage the payment chief officer, Joseph Mnakapa, on this student. The student was not paid for the tuition and non-tuition fee for 2019. So basically is to say it's an NSFAF problem, not an institution or an invoice problem, but this is an NSFAF problem.
Okay. Now, at the current stage, it's a registration for the new academic year for 2022. So what does this mean when you say students are not yet paid? What implications are there involved?
Implications are, it's like when you try to attempt to register yourself at an institution of higher learning, they will not allow you to register because it's the business for them. They require you to settle what you owe them before you are allowed to register. So this will affect certain students, especially the vulnerable students. Now, in this case, student leaders have to again come up with a way or alternative in order for them to engage different managements, different institutions, for them to reach an agreement as to just allow these students to register. And this has become a norm in every year. It has become a habit that every year it's happening whereby student leaders have to engage the management on students that have signed loan contracts, which are supposed not to be done like that. If a student signs a contract in 2021, then let the student be paid in 2021, because that's why the student has received an award letter saying that yes, we have received your application, we are going to fund for you for the next 4 years. But that is not basically what's happening in most of the students.
Okay. Seeing that this is a loan, have you tried to inquire as to what happens now, seeing that if a student, for example, signed a 4-year contract loan, there's a specific amount, say that no, your loan is, for example, 150,000 for the duration. Now, if NASWAF is failing to pay and the student drops out of school, now, does this student now have to pay back the full amount to NASWAF, which he signed the contract to, or how does it happen?
That has not been made clear by the Namibian Student Financial Assistance Fund.
Looking at the weather in the northeast for the rest of this week, showers are expected at Nkurunkuru, Rundu, Kongola and Kasane today and tomorrow, while the weather will start clearing thereafter. Katima is the only exception that can expect showers until Thursday, whereafter it will clear somewhat.
That was it from us today. Stay tuned for another episode for Regional Review tomorrow. Thank you for watching and enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.